Hello people, this is a kind of response video to the video I made called Cafcass, the Nature of the Beast. Cafcass went to great trouble to have the video taken down. I say great trouble, but they were able to do it quite easily. But in the time that the video was up, it seemed that it got so many comments. In fact, one person even said they've never commented on a video before until this one. But they were moved to do so because they believed the sentiments that I was putting forward in the video. And the sentiments that I was putting forward were basically that Cafcass were corrupt, a bunch of devils. And the reason I said that they were devils is because they pervert justice and they destroy lives, they destroy children. Now, the fact that it got so many responses both on Facebook and YouTube was not shocking to me, but a confirmation that so many people out there feel exactly the same way. And the thing that is interesting is the fact that no organisation that I've ever come across would be happy to have so many people so angry with Cafcass. There's so many groups that are out there. Cafcass destroys lives is one group. Cafcass are corrupt. If you actually do a search and put Cafcass and corruption into Google or any other search engine you want to use, you'll find so many results coming up, thousands of results coming up, because people know exactly what this organisation are. You know, it didn't really bother me the fact that YouTube removed the video on behalf of Cafcass, because I knew they were going to do that. I'd named some people in there. I'd named the so-called guardian of my children. But I've looked up the definition of guardian, and that is to protect. And if we're, something that can't protect itself, such as children, I don't know why they use these terms, because they do nothing of the kind. It's interesting that the person that calls herself a guardian in my case won't even answer the most simplest of questions, such as, how many times did you see my children? I've been asking that to the guardian lately, and they won't answer the question. The reason why they won't answer the question is because they know I am onto them. And what I mean by onto them is this: they're trying to make out that I have hurt my children. A lot of parents will have this, where Cafcass make reports and create situations where they make out that you've hurt your own children. It's a shock to the system when you see this, knowing that all you've done is love your children. And the children will never profess to have been hurt. So the question that they knew I was taking them down the angle of getting was, or the answer I was trying to get from them was this: how many times have you seen my children? And has there been a forensic interview? Because a forensic interview is somebody, a police officer or somebody qualified to interview a child in a specific way to elicit information from the child that would prove that they've been harmed in some way. Now, nobody involved with Cafcass, well, many people involved with Cafcass don't know about this kind of stuff, so will never ask these kind of questions. So when they hammer with the accusation that they hurt their own children, they don't know how to come back. Now, when I started asking how many times have you seen my children, you have to tell me how many times you've seen the children and have the children be forensically interviewed, because only then are you in a position to say whether my children have been harmed. Other than that, you're making a false accusation, similar to, in my case, what the mother of my children did, made false accusations. Now, in a war, sometimes we have to lose in order to win. Them taking down my video was my small loss in a sense, and they think that they've won something. They've won nothing, because I'm fighting a war. I'm fighting a war on behalf of many, many people. Now, we have to fight them in a way that they don't expect, and I have 2 legal cases coming. one against my ex-partner and one against Cafcass. I'm taking the fight out of the secret family court and into the court arena, which is an open court. What will happen, what Cafcass will do, is they will try to get an injunction to make the court that I take them into become private. Many people would never consider bringing a legal action against Cafcass. Why? Because it's very expensive to find somebody who can litigate on behalf of a parent. I remember reading a post very recently from, I can't remember who, and I wouldn't name them anyway. Why wouldn't I name people who comment on my links? Why wouldn't I name parents? Why wouldn't I name the many people who have supported me? Because I have ultimate respect for them, and those people might not want their names going out there. Very different from what I do with Cafcass. I'm not going to do it this time, but in the video that I took down, I named about 4 or 5 different people who have come into contact with Cafcass. All of them corrupt, many of them working in the Blackburn area, some working in the London area, all of them corrupt. And my aim was to say, if you've got any of these people working in your case, be careful. Because when I went into the family court, I didn't know the demonic system I'd be working under. People think I'm some kind of weirdo sometimes talking about demons and devils, but I'm not, because if a human being does something abhorrent, ultimately destructive to the most innocent, which are the children, then in my eyes you are a devil, and this is what Cafcass does. They work in a system where they know they are untouchable. They've only got a contract from the government to do this job. They're not qualified. They know nothing about parental alienation. They hate that many parents are actually pushing forward the idea of parental alienation, and it is now looked at as child abuse, because that is exactly what they do. They want to alienate parents because they work in a system where it's adversarial, where parents are pit against each other in a court system, where judges are paid off. And when I say judges are paid off, let me explain this. If a judge is not acting on your behalf and upholding his oath to protect your rights, he is basically a clerk or a clerk of the court, administering legislation on behalf of the corrupt barristers. I didn't know this stuff at the beginning, but I know this stuff now. Like, nobody's speaking to me in my family court case because Cafcass are scared. Cafcass are taking down videos because they are terrified of people actually galvanizing, coming together. Can you imagine, parents, if 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 parents who are all alienated banded together to bring a class action? I don't know if it's a class action, but I hear a lot of American people saying class action. It would be class to do that, to band together to bring an action against Cafcass. I've gone on the forums and gone in some of the groups to tell people that I'm bringing an action against Cafcass, and I have basically said, if you want to put together stories and your experiences with Cafcass, I don't know if this stuff will be admissible in my proceedings, but it would fuel my agenda, which is not some selfish agenda to get money out of Cafcass. No, I want to bring this organisation to its knees, bring it down. I told the family court guardian, so to speak, I emphasise guardian because she's nothing of the kind. She's never asked my children what their feelings are. Some people have taken issue with the fact that I've called the family court racist and corrupt. Now, the 2010 Equality Act says that you're supposed to protect the interests of people of colour, people, women who may be disadvantaged, people because of their gender, people because of their religion. Now, I was abused because of my race in the family court. I remember calling up one time and they thought they'd put me on hold, and I was listening to the people in the family court abusing me and telling me that, you know, saying stuff of a racial nature. And I had actually recorded the conversation, went to the newspapers with this. They weren't interested because the system protects itself. We're living in a system that doesn't want to out these individuals. Nobody wants to out Cafcass, apart from people like myself. And the reason why it's important for me to do it at this time is because I'm actually in family court proceedings, and what parents in family court proceedings usually do is jump through the hoops, be very silent, try to be perfect, as I was when I was in the first family court proceedings, and all they did was try to dig into every area of my life to try and find dirt. And when they couldn't find the dirt, what Cafcass did was create the dirt, create stuff that they could use against me. But as I've said in the previous video, I now have the evidence on them. I don't know what I said in the video that's been taken down. I talked about the evidence that I now have that Cafcass buried, because they used a family court expert, and I want to make a specific video on family court experts. I need to go in on those corrupt ones. So yeah, I don't say that these people are demonic for dramatic purposes or to align myself with some kind of fantasy notion of demons, you know, with horns and stuff like this. No. These people come across as very pleasant, disarming. As I said in the video that they had taken down, the family court expert, or the family court guardian, should I say, working for Cafcass, has got a very soft demeanour. And in the first family court, I was fighting barristers a lot of the time, coming into contact with barristers, and I was thinking, well, these barristers are terrible, which they are. Lawyers equals liars. They have to lie in their profession. I was fighting with them, but I was forgetting the power behind the throne, which is Cafcass. There's only one power within the case that I'm dealing with now, and that is Cafcass. They advise the judge, who is paid for, and has no interest in abiding or standing on his oath. He had no interest at all in doing that. And he's advised by a corrupt Cafcass guardian. So as soon as this video goes up, because I don't know what I'm going to call this video, I'm just going to basically call it Cafcass had my video taken down by YouTube or something like that. As soon as this video goes up, Cafcass will be on it trying to find any angle which they can take it down. And I'm going to finish off this video by explaining how Cafcass took the other video down, because they spoke about privacy, that I had infringed on their privacy. Now, I didn't fight it because YouTube told me that they were going to investigate. And I thought to myself, well, I will say that I'm not infringing on privacy, because these people, you know, they're on YouTube, many of them, they're on their own website talking about how they do this and do that, the day in the life of a family court advisor and stuff like this. So they're happy to come into the open when the footage and the promotion that they're going to get is positive. But they work in darkness when they know that it's going to show them in their true light, which is as child abusers. They play a key role in the worldwide agenda to break up the family unit. And the family unit being broke up feeds into stuff like knife crime. I'll go into this later, not now, in another video. Because the children are becoming feral children with no guardians, so to speak, no biological guardians, no fathers. Mothers are under attack too, because once you take the father out of the home, the woman is also under attack, the mother is also under attack. And these women who become alienators, like the one in my life who has basically tried to destroy her own children and then put the blame onto the father. Cafcass are a pivotal role in destroying that. So ultimately, Them talking about privacy is an excuse. What they really are afraid of, as I've said earlier, is the fact that people are now waking up to the agenda and to their agenda. So keep rising, parents, grandparents, the alienated, the ones that are being destroyed, fathers left, right and centre. We don't have to look far to find stories of fathers hanging themselves in cells. I was told about a guy, maybe 2 or 3 people actually recently have done this. It's no surprise to me anymore. I know I've felt previously. I don't think about taking my life. Why? Because I've become the war one, the fire one. I say it to myself many times. I'm not here to bring peace. I'm here to fight a war for my children. I'm not here to calm the fire. I'm here to fuel the fire. I'm here to burn the system. So that's what I want parents to do. Rise up. Many parents say to me, oh, you've got a great spirit and you're speaking for us. Well, my spirit comes from the fact that the 2 most precious things in my life have been taken from me. When my beautiful daughter was born, her head fit in my hand, and then the rest of the little body fit here. And I held her like that. I looked at her for, it felt like the entire night, while her mother was no longer, had any strength left in her body because labour was very long. I held her like this and I looked at her, I thought she was the most beautiful thing. I still think she's the most beautiful thing. But I looked at her for, I can't remember how long, forever. Because she is the most beautiful thing, she's the most precious thing to me. I'm fighting a war because she's now going into high school. She will be there in high school this year. She will no longer be taken to school by her mother every day, because you can't do that when you go to high school. And she will be open to the predators in her life, with no father to protect her. This is why I'm the war one. This is why anybody who comes into contact with me who isn't for my children, then I'm at war with them. This is why I stand outside the court. So when people say I've got this great spirit, it's because of her and the little man as well. The little man. For both of them. I'm nothing without them, apart from the living embodiment of the war for the children, to protect the children. So keep on fighting, parents, alienated parents, parents that have been separated from their precious ones. Keep on messaging me, keep on inspiring, and I hope that I inspire also. The war is not over, it's a long fight, but we will not lose this because we have what's right on our side. This is Elevai signing out for Elevai Truth TV. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.